Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
Check, 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 check.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Nick Reynolds, Steve Harness, and Cousin Brewski. The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Take one.
Take one, so we're on time. It's The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Alla Brewski, back for another exciting podcast that we're just going to lay on your lap, and you can rub it around and make yourself feel good, or you can just listen to it. Whatever you bastards want to do with it, it's all yours.
All right. And yet again, I think every podcast we're on time. Whenever we hit record, you don't have to out yourself.
I'm not outing myself, dude. I said we're on time. We're on time right now, dude.
Yes, all right. This is the Republican mentality. If you just say it, it's true.
Well, yeah.
No fake news on this podcast, for crying out loud.
Right. These things are timeless, ageless, except for the fact that they're heavily dated and time sensitive.
That's exactly right. There are listeners that are, just finding us that are going back to the original podcast. Like, I don't know. There's a big difference, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Bruce, I don't know if we told you this. We've got a guy that used to listen to us in Seattle that just rediscovered us. But we're on episode 90-something right now. He has made a pledge. He started at number 1. He doesn't want to miss any of our episodes.
Oh, my.
So I'm randomly
order.
I'm getting messages about, episode 6. Oh, this one thing you said, or how'd that thing turn out? I'm just like, wow, dude, like that was a year ago.
Maybe he doesn't have a lot going on right now. That's all. He's a
super fan. Nick's creeped out by it, but I'm
not creeped out, dude. I just, you know what? Tell me if you find this creepy, Brewski. Okay. I mean, is there anyone that you would do this for? Would you listen to an episode, okay, and then all the way through it, stop and pause, write down exactly like 13 minutes and 14 seconds, Steve said,
time-stamping? Wow.
Time-stamping all the way through the episode, which I appreciate, but I've just never seen it done before, dude. If we're not paying a legal service to do it, I've never seen it done.
Maybe we should ask him, since he's such a fan of the show, if he wouldn't mind logging each and every show for us with timestamps.
It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the world of podcasting. In radio, no one could do this. Now, this guy wants us to know his opinions. He's being the vocal minority. So, we're getting detailed notes. Episode 3, 17 minutes in, Steve said this, agree with that. 23 minutes in, Nick said this.
What's his name?
I forget. I'd have to look it up. His name is Superfan. That's
Superfan. You know who you are. Like, the goal is right now to get through these episodes as fast as you can. And if you can get caught up, we'll have you on the air to share some of your opinions with us. How about that?
I have a question.
Sure.
Is this Superfan's name Tim?
No.
Does he still hold it down at the Crossroads Circle K?
Crossroads Circle K. Our original super fan of this program was a guy that, he was creepy too. I mean, I loved him. I'm not to say this new guy's creepy, but I'm just saying the original dude was creepy, and he passed out in someone's car. Didn't Steve have to give him a ride home somewhere?
I don't recall that, but who knows?
Well, remember he disappeared at the radio station the night that we had the DUI attorney in, and I had the drink to blow in the breathalyzer, and he came and brought his own booze, and then he disappeared. We couldn't find him anywhere,
and he was already trashed. And I think he came to our basketball game and got so drunk that I had picked him up for it. And I think you, Steve, had to give him a ride home.
Not from the basketball game. I was passed out drunk after that thing. I had a medical attention for that game, remember?
You had medical attention?
Oh, yeah. Listen, we did a drunken basketball game against another talk show in Seattle. And, I don't drink well and work out well. So, I don't know. Not even by halftime of that basketball game, I was on the side puking, dehydrated, and the paramedics came over. And I kept telling them, like, leave me alone. I will be fine.
I do remember you puking on the side of the court. You don't do well with, now you're a beast. Brewski, I just got back from Tahoe, and Harness works out every other day, okay?
Okay.
Comes down like he comes from the cover of a Fabio novel, and, is glistening with sweat. Oh, God, what a workout. I'm thinking, the biggest thing I've done this morning is take a big old dump. Like, congrats on you, dude. You look great.
I didn't even show you my six-pack. I mean, come on.
Nick, you might have dropped a pound in the bathroom just doing that.
You're right. I appreciate your positive thinking, Brewski.
And back to the Superfan. First of all, this new guy referenced the original Superfan, which I've just apparently completely forgotten about. But I think we should anoint this guy the new one. It's going to take him 93 episodes to hear this, but and we need these people, by the way, so they're not creepy. They're loyal listeners. We love them.
Hey, dude, sometimes you're creepy. You're the host of the show. Yeah. Sometimes I'm creepy. We're all creepy. It's not an insult. I'm just saying.
I got to buy a boat someday, all right? So we need more of these people.
And what are the chances that this guy is actually Dave Richards?
Yeah.
I doubt it. Yeah. I remember a funny thought, though, I was having the other day. When we were on the Buzz in Seattle, every show but ours and another one all went over to this rock station in Seattle. And I remember back then thinking, like, well, one of these days, either BJ or the Men's Room, they're going to retire, move to another state, and then we're going to be the first ones to call.
No.
They're still there.
Yes.
Who stays at a radio station that long? That's unheard of.
And still doing well. How many years has it been, dude? Well, for BJ, I mean, it's been a long ass time.
Coming up on 20 for the Men's Room, at least. I mean, if not there, I mean, it's close. So yeah.
You're
waiting on the call.
You're welcome, Men's Room. You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, stay healthy. You guys better be working out every other day. So
now this is not the Men's Room. It's the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve, all of Brewski, and we have a web page. You can go to it. It's thevocalminority.net. Booyah!
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
I need to know.
He needs to know, and he needs to know now.
Before we meet, there's some news you need to know about.
I need to know. I need to know now.
Needed to know.
Need to know.
I need some news.
I need some news.
The news needs to come from me.
The news has come.
Best news I've heard all day.
Okay, everybody, time to shut up and listen. This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
News.
I agree with so many of those drops right there.
What, that the news needs to come from you?
Yes.
I put that one in there for you, dude. I knew you felt that.
This needs to come from me, so shut up and listen, people.
That's right.
I got other things to do, all right? I'm here for the betterment of humanity. So we've been talking politics on and off on the show because it's one of our things. We've been talking about the fact that third-party spoilers in this upcoming election are not welcomed, not needed, go away now. Robert Kennedy Jr., we've brought him up before as well, because, at first, I think the right was propping him up because they thought, well, he's a Kennedy. Maybe he could spoil Biden. But then he started getting popular with this anti-vax stuff with the right-wingers, so then they started freaking out, like we don't want him stepping on Trump's toes or any of that. So I found an article here that might just bring us all together in universal condemnation of Mr. Robert Kennedy Jr.
Tell us about it. Tell us what it says.
Is that Joe Biden calling in on the show?
Oh, dude, that's the guy you're talking about. It's RFK.
Yeah. I lost my voice because of a bad vaccine. I'm just, and I'm married to Cheryl Hines right now. So, she's pretty hot, isn't she?
I expect to talk for long periods of time and have you never get annoyed that I don't have much inflection.
I didn't realize RFK Jr. sounded like an old prospector from the
dude, he's so bad. And I said, forgive me. I mean, I know it's not your fault, but wow. It's tough to listen to.
All right. Maybe that voice is from bad vaccine advice. Maybe he's picked up some cooties elsewhere, because Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the anti-vax independent candidate for president, is apparently anti-hygiene as well. The controversial political scion recently walked to the bathroom in bare feet on a commercial flight. No stops.
Oh, my God, dude. Those airplane bathroom?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bare feet. No socks even, okay?
Dude, you know this.
This is from staph infection because I'm filthy.
Exactly. Some worm has crawled up his foot.
He's raw dogging the airplane.
Yes, he is. Nasty.
Let's see. A conservative commentator named Justin Haskins, who I've never heard of, but whatever. He said he sat behind Kennedy in first class on a recent voyage from Portland to Dallas. And he snapped a pic. Originally, he was waiting to snap a pic to be like, he was going to go on a Glenn Beck show and wanted to kind of taunt, hey, it was me and RFK. But,
right.
Haskins told his podcast mates that he initially was looking for an opportunity to take a pic to show Glenn Beck for his upcoming appearance. So he was kind of, stalking him essentially. Right. So he says, quote, RFK gets up and goes to the bathroom, and he's walking to the bathroom. This is on a plane. And I realize the guy has no shoes and no socks. And the floor is covered with food, and it's like disgusting food. He goes into the restroom sockless and shoeless. Oh. Something I've literally never seen in my entire life out of every time I've ever been on an airplane.
I don't like to go into my bathroom sockless. All right. Like, that is so nasty on an airplane. And that aisle, didn't someone just diarrhea all the way down an aisle?
That did happen on a plane. I assume it happens. There's feces on everything.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That aisle alone is filthy. I don't get people who take their shoes off on an airplane. If you're going to, please put either slippers on or at least have your socks on. It's so gross.
Listen, unless you're Bruce Willis in Die Hard doing the plane trick where you're curling your toes because you're afraid of heights. But even Bruce Willis, I believe, put the shoes back on before he got off the plane or started walking around.
That was, he did that in the hotel room, didn't he? I mean, I thought he did it afterwards. He waited.
Yes. So this conservative commentator, his final quote on the topic was, this man needs to be removed from the race immediately.
So gross, dude.
What the hell? Seriously. Taking your shoes and socks off on an airplane is just rude and disgusting in general. But then walking into the bathroom? All the feet on that floor?
But you're assuming, Steve, that he was wearing socks to begin with.
Maybe he was not.
Yeah, he might have been wearing loafers with no socks.
Ugh, that's gross too. Flip-flops. If he had no socks on, put some flip-flops on, all right?
The only time ever that a man should wear flip-flops is at the pool or in a shower in a gym. You don't need to be wearing flip-flops walking around in your general life. You
disagree. I do.
You know what? But you know why women are allowed to do that, but men don't? Because women take care of their feet.
I take care of my feet. Listen, I had a professional pedicure done yesterday on my feet.
Wow.
Hand to heaven.
Do you have hair on your feet, on your toes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, slight hair on my feet.
I don't need to see your hairy toes. I don't need to see them. I don't.
It's interesting.
What if a girl had hairy toes?
It's even worse.
Do you know that I try to wear flip-flops as many months out of the year as possible? I'm still wearing them now because there's no snow on the ground yet. So until it gets over the threshold of my flip-flop, I won't stop. I have good feet.
Are your feet nasty?
I don't
personally.
So.
Steve, no, I'm asking Brewski. Do you have nasty feet?
I wouldn't say I have nasty feet, but I don't have feet that everybody needs to see what they look like.
Just examining my feet. I have blonde hairs. You really can't see them. So that
I don't know.
And I will wear flip-flops in an airport if it's summer because, you're going through security, taking your shoes off, all that crap. But I don't walk around barefoot except through security. So.
And that's bad too, dude. I mean, that's nasty too. And I've done that before, and it's nasty.
How often do you think that they actually mop? Sweep in or mop the floor in security at the airport?
It's nasty. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would say once every bombing. So, not, but I'm walking through there and my socks is not much better. Then I'm putting that in my shoes, which I'm then I don't know. So,
but you're already bringing bacteria around with your socks anyway. So it's different. It's different because your feet can actually absorb all those things. In Asian cultures, there's reason why they have those pads that they put on the bottoms of your feet, and then they pull them off because it removes toxins out of your body.
Like you can see the black that comes out on that pad, dude. So many toxins are in your foot.
Exactly. But it's absorbent.
We are getting away from the point that he walked into a airplane bathroom where no doubt, I'll tell you what, I've pooped, I've peed, and thrown up in an airplane bathroom.
On the floor.
I can't say it all made it in.
Right.
You know, like women have their period in there, changing babies in there, Mile High Club. I mean, that is a filthy ass room.
Yeah, and you know they're not in there sanitizing the floor after every
No.
See how fast they turn the planes over these days? Like, there's just like 3 people who jump on and get trash in a bag and roll.
Yeah, so there you go. If you're anti-vax, apparently you're anti-science, and then that would all make sense why you're walking around a bathroom with no shoes on. So who needs science?
Enough said.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
I need to know. He needs to know, and he needs to know now.
Before we meet, there's some news you need to know about.
I need to know. I need to know now.
Needed to know.
Need to know.
I need some news. I need some news.
The news needs to come from me.
The news has come.
Best news I've heard all day.
Okay, everybody, time to shut up and listen.
Sure.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know. News.
I hit the wrong sweeper there. A little long.
All right.
Welcome to Need to Know News, the vocal minority with Nick and Steve, a la Brewski. We're going to give you a bit of, a couple stories here, but this is a segment we've been doing kind of like a Trump in review, just to wrap up a few things real quick, so we don't have to spend the episode talking about the bastard, right?
He inevitably comes up, but yes,
he does.
The weekly roundup. I am actually hearing some conservatives starting to kind of sweat this whole cognitive decline thing on Trump's part.
Oh my gosh.
You are?
Oh yeah.
Maybe,
they're kind of wondering, do we lean into it or do we avoid it because it makes us all look like hypocrites for saying Biden is, going senile?
Sure.
Yeah. When did that ever stop them, though, being concerned about looking like hypocrites?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe they think that, maybe we should be worried, but we're not. And it is a perfect time. I was actually going to play this clip later in the episode, but you want to know how loyal Trump people are? I mean, I think the 3 of us on this program know, but it is just crazy to me. There is a show, they go on MSNBC once in a while with their skits. They do like Jordan Kepler type skits, and I think they're called The Liars.
Okay.
Have you heard of them?
Familiar with it? No. And is brainwashed and loyalty the same thing?
Well, this you be the judge.
No. Because a cult member is very loyal, but I don't think that's a positive spin on the word loyal.
I think with cult members, they're brainwashed. It's one thing to be like, you can be loyal to somebody, but you still have cognitive ability and you may be in denial about what you're admiring, but at the same time, you have some other abilities to think for yourself. Right. Brainwashed people don't have that at all.
Exactly. So I'm going to say the Trump people aren't loyal. They're brainwashed.
Yeah. Maybe that's how we should really always start saying it, because that is a great distinction. I mean, these people are brainwashed, and you'll no doubt see with this clip of these guys asking just a couple of Trump people at a rally some questions a la Kepler.
And by the way, real quick, pause that. Where this is an MSNBC like segment on someone's show, or?
No, I think they have a podcast themselves, but you'll see a lot of their clips on TikTok, and they do video stuff too. So they do vlogs, but they are contributors on MSNBC. Like, they have them on a lot to play some of this stuff.
I got you. Okay. Proceed.
In Trump's fraud case in New York, they asked him if he had seen his 2021 financial statements. He responded by saying that he was busy dealing with China and Russia. What do you think about that?
I think he was a busy man when he was president.
But he wasn't president in 2021.
Stuff up in 2016.
Yeah, but he wasn't president in 2021.
Before he became president.
But he said in 2021 he was too busy dealing with.
Bashing him. They got to pick out something.
He said that the square footage of his own condo was 3 times the amount that it actually was. Like, that's lying about it.
Right. I don't know. I don't believe
it. Said it in the documents in his company. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see how that comes out, though. I don't know. There's always something that.
If that's the case, does that change your opinion on it a little bit?
No, absolutely not. No, it's because it's all crap news. It's all fake.
But it's not. It wouldn't be fake because he did say it.
Yeah, but how do we know that?
But because his own company put it out, and they said that it was their document.
And I'd have to see it, and then you know what I mean. I don't know what you're talking about, but. If I saw it, then I would say, okay, cool. Well, there's a reason for it, guaranteed. So.
But if he did lie about that, do you think maybe it's possible he lied about other stuff?
Trump doesn't lie.
Wow. I mean, I feel like that deserves this. Like, what?
Wow. Yeah, that's not loyalty. That is straight up gullible, brainwashed masses right there. I mean, wow.
Well, you know, I think, you know, what a lot of this is that, and it's never good to assume anybody's race by what their voice sounds like. But number one, they're at a Trump rally, so more than likely they are Caucasian.
Sure.
And also, I was listening to the voice. They're probably at least 30s, probably 40s or so. Okay, so now these are white people getting older, and they see him as their final grasp at having some sort of power in this country because they're all concerned about becoming the minority.
Brewski, you described them. You described them to a T of what they look like in the video. Exactly what you said they are.
I mean, it's disturbing the level of disconnect there. The brainwashing. It's like, you know, they always say like predators, like rapists or, you know, child molesters. Like they seek out good victims. You know,
they groom them.
Yeah, because most people, if you put your hand on someone, they're just going to immediately run away, punch you, tell the cops, whatever. But certain people are good victims. They will allow you to abuse them.
100%.
They somehow spin it in their head that this isn't happening, or I deserve it, or it's okay. Well, whatever it is. But I mean, that is the Trump fan base right there. They don't care if it comes from Trump. They won't even believe it. They won't believe anything. And I don't know what to do with people like that. That's why I say I think we just have to outvote these people because there's no getting through to them.
100%, dude. You're 100% right with everything you said. It is, it's beyond sad to see some of these people because, like we said, like some of these people we know as good people, and they're so sucked into this that they have some sort of a mental disorder. Trump said, I will read this to you because, well, these are some of the things that he's planning if you put him in office. And piggyback on what Brewski was just talking about, he said on a stage, and people cheered, immigrants are poisoning the blood of America. If that's not the dog whistle of like, I'll keep America white. Like, we're not going to let those brown and black people in here.
Yes. Oh, that's classic. And this thing he said about vermin or whatever, I mean, this is classic. Yep. Like, you know.
Yeah. So, let me read these few things and then we'll get to the vermin talk. But he vows to, now indict political rivals if he wins. Trump is planning to round up undocumented immigrants and, quote, put them in cages.
Right. Camps, you know.
Yeah. Camps. Yep. That's right. And now we will go in.
A portion of people in a camp. I don't know what you would call a concentrated camp like that. But
I don't know either. I mean, we have nothing to look back on and kind of try and wonder what it's all about. But, so we are going to talk about Trump, mirroring the verbiage of Hitler in a Veterans Day post. People are kind of lining it up. I mean, not line for line the whole thing, but there are plenty of things that stick out. I'll play you what he posted on Truth Social for Veterans Day, and maybe you can decide for yourself, all right?
Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten.
That was Hitler. I get him confused. So there, I'll play the real thing now.
In honor of our great veterans on Veterans Day, we pledge to you that we will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and radical leftoids that live like vermin within the confines of our country, lie, steal, and cheat on elections. And we'll do anything possible, whether legally or illegally, to destroy America and the American dream. The threat from outside forces is far less sinister, dangerous, and grave than the threat from within. Despite the hatred and anger of the radical left lunatics who want to destroy our country, we will make America great again.
Wow.
You can
Trump speaking much more clearly. I do.
Right. Yeah. Those cognitive declines don't seem to be in this at all.
Right. I don't know how much more like Hitler you could sound.
I mean, that's crazy, dude. I mean, if he would have just been having a crowd cheering behind him. Oh, wait, he was. He did. I mean, this was a full-on Hitler post, and people, his conservatives or his brainwashed conservatives, are eating it up, dude. They love it.
I've heard so many people, and I myself have wondered, how did Hitler ever come to power? How did people not see his evil coming? They did. Enough of them embraced it. It's what's happening right now. That's how it happens.
True statement has never been made. Steve Harness.
Ooh, yeah.
Go ahead,
Did you
Brewski.
guys happen to see that on Veterans Day, also on stage in front of all these people, he actually admitted that he didn't like to go to see wounded soldiers at Walter Reed Medical Center because they made him squeamish.
I didn't see that he said it in front of a crowd.
Yes, there's video of it. He said it there, and nobody pushed back, nobody booed, nothing like that whatsoever. He just said, "Yeah, they make me squeamish."
Right.
Who did he originally said it to? General Kelly? Is that who he said it to at the actual veterans?
Wasn't it Milley that he said about the guy?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So, like, don't do that ever again. That came out, and he wasn't embarrassed enough that he would now say it in front of a crowd.
I mean, he's made these comments to multiple people at this point of his disgust of military veterans who are wounded in the line of duty or who have been captured. His famous, "I prefer people that weren't captured." Like,
what about suckers and losers?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yet still. The pro-military wing of our party, the Republicans, they're so pro-military. Thank you for your service, but we're going to vote for this guy that spits in your face.
Yes.
What's in it for them? I remember him saying that too. Why would people join the military? What's in it for them?
Yeah.
He wouldn't even allow his kid to do it if he wanted to. He didn't allow it. He said, you will be abandoned from this family, dude.
Disowned. He and both Don Jr.'s mother, Ivana, told him that he would be disowned and cut off completely if he joined the military.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. All right.
And that's the guy that was our president and wants to be again.
Yep. So do with that information what you will. I know it won't change your mind, but just think stupid for a while. We're going to roll on to our next news story. At the head of it, we will give you a quick financial update.
The high interest rates combating the inflation has made home ownership almost impossible for many Americans. The price of a hair curler, maybe has come down a little bit, or at least the inflation on it has come down a bit.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
It's time for another brewski. This one is a crazy brewski.
Oh, gentlemen, we've got a lot of things going on in this country, and we've heard conservatives complaining about crime and how terrible that this country has become. It's gone down the hell ever since Trump left.
Apparently, my state of California is just a post-apocalyptic hellhole. Who knew?
Well, I'm here to tell you that they may not be wrong, and I know that sounds weird to say that, but I have a story about crime in this country that you will find shocking, absolutely shocking.
Wow. Well, don't hesitate. Don't make me wait. Whip it on me.
A man in South Carolina is accused of robbing a store with a gun-shaped controller from the 1980s Nintendo game Duck Hunt.
That is fantastic.
Stop the madness, people. When are we going? We need to get a handle on this.
Get indoors quickly. Lock your door.
I'm offended by the lack of effort. Guns are very easy to get in this country. Do we have to be robbing gas stations with fake guns? I mean, put the effort in. Put the effort in or don't bother. I mean,
and he's in South Carolina. Would you think that'd be even easier to get a gun?
Right. What part of San Francisco was South Carolina in, just for our audience?
That is so funny, dude. Do you think it was the original, like, gray and red, or with the bright orange on it?
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm sure it was. Yeah. It says David Joseph D'Alessandro, age 25, was arrested following the reported incident at the Quick Stop convenience store in the small town of Sharon, located about 45 miles south of Charlotte.
That's hysterical.
Oh, I have it right here, actually, a picture of it. It is not the original gray one with the orange on it, but it is black and gray, but it looks, everything else looks just the same. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
You know that he had to. I would hope so. That he was wasted out of money for beer and smokes or whatever, and was just like, yeah, what the hell? Maybe I'll go try this. Like, that was not a logical thought that he had.
It's a step above putting your finger in your pocket, and poking it out.
Look, like, I've got a gun here. Don't make me pull it out and use it.
And I wonder if when he pulled it out that the store clerk, covered his mouth and went, what a story, dude. I love it.
Well, actually, the guy got away with $300.
He gave it up?
Yeah, it says that he was arrested down the street from the store. It says roughly $300 was taken from the register. He was located in a Dollar General store parking lot down the street with the duck hunt pistol in his pants.
He was going to Dollar General, dude. He was like, I'm loaded tonight. I got a ton of cash, and I am not afraid to use it.
Well, $300, that's a fully loaded register at Dollar General. So he probably had the high score. He probably deserved that.
That is funny.
Need to know news.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
News you need to know.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. All right. Next news story. Nick's camera's working, so I can tell you, in your background, Nick, you now have what is a pornographic picture.
What?
You have a giant picture of an a-hole behind you.
The only picture of a human being. Well, I have a skeleton of Steven over there. And I have Tony D. That's what I call him. I mean, his name is Tony Danza, but
Tony Danza made page 6 this week, getting into a fight on the streets of New York City with a woman. New York City woman tears into a-hole Tony Danza after a rough sidewalk dog dispute.
Dude, we just heard a couple of weeks ago that he screwed John Stamos' lady friend, and people were kind of looking at him poorly for that. Now this seems serious and terrible.
Yeah, we did have that news story. And by the way, Bruce, what was that girl's name, the 80s star that John Stamos was with? You remember?
Hold on one second. I'll figure it out real quick. Go ahead.
Some 80s actress or whatever, but she's all pissed off that Stamos brought that story up and made her look like a big whore banging Tony D back in the day. So I just think she should be happy that somebody's talking about her again. But
Terry Copley was her name.
Yes. Was she an actress or something? What was she?
She was. Yes, she was.
Yeah. So anyway, Tony Danza back in the news yet again this week. Upper West Side woman got into a fight with the Who's the Boss actor over her dog. According to a Page 6 spy, Danza was spotted in the posh neighborhood earlier this week, quote, pushing his way through anything and anyone in his path when he barked at a petite woman walking with her dog. The source tells us that the 80s heartthrob stepped over a black lab and said to its owner, "Get your dog out of my way."
Oh, I mean, a guy's entitled to have a bad day every now and again, right? I mean, that wasn't too serious.
True. Now, the article goes on. There's a little defense here, and then there's a little more pushback.
Okay.
The pet parent did not back down, offered the immortal words, quote, "Tony Danza, stop being an a-hole." He should sign that on his next autograph picture for you.
And also, but why can't he be an a-hole? He's a person.
He can be. We just don't want him to be. We idolize Tony Danza. We don't want him yelling dog lovers, do we? I don't know.
I mean, he didn't do anything really. I mean, he stepped over. She could have been in his way, and he's running and shadow boxing. Come on.
So another witness, though, said that there was no spat. This is the pushback. It gets worse, though. Just bear with me. This other witness says, Tony saw a good-sized dog coming towards him, and he knows the dogs in New York City have the right of way. He moved over to let the dog pass, and the woman didn't pull back on the leash, and the dog continued to come right at him. He had to jump over the dog to get out of the way, says the witness.
That makes a lot more sense, dude.
Now, another one, though. Then again, this is not the first time of late that Danza has drawn scorn for arguably prickly behavior. Back in April, a red carpet...
Say that again, dude. 3 times, please.
I slurred it on purpose, okay?
I know. I just want to hear it.
Arguably prickly behavior is what Tony Danza displayed. Back in April, a red carpet reporter accused the Taxi actor. Is that really what he's best known for? I mean, come on.
Yeah. He was big on time,
I know his best work.
But come on, Who's the Boss is obviously what he's best known for. Come on.
Hey, I would say Taxi.
Really? Okay. Well,
yep.
Page 6 agrees with you. They accused the Taxi actor of being, quote, the rudest celebrity that they've ever interviewed.
Oh, stop it.
Danza had allegedly told him to, quote, come up with some better questions after the interviewer asked him if he preferred New York City pizza or hot dogs.
Yeah, I'd say
I agree with him, dude. I agree with him. Come up with some better questions. You're talking to Tony Danza. That's what you're going to ask him.
But he's Mr. New York. He's known in this borough, and they asked about New York food. I mean, that's kind of rude to tell the interviewer to come up with better questions.
You're getting access to at least a B-level celebrity.
Yes,
you gotta bring it. You gotta bring it. Bring
sometimes you lead in with the softball. I mean, maybe.
But you don't know how he said it either. He could have said it like, "Hey, guy, come up with some better questions." Oh, hey.
You got anything better? Get this. Apparently, Michael Bublé was so upset that he chimed in on Twitter saying, "Hey, to the reporter, he said, I think you're amazing. I'll have a pizza with you. Let's not invite Tony."
Perv. I mean, come on, dude. He's trying to get laid.
Now, the article ends saying perhaps he's just grumpy over the recent accusations made by Full House star John Stamos over the affair we had just mentioned. So.
Could have been taking a lot of heat as of late. He sees these people, get out of my way, dude. Come on, I'm having a bad week.
Who are these people giving Danza a hard time about banging Terry Copley, 40 years ago, 35, 40 years ago? Who cares what you did 35, 40 years ago? You didn't murder somebody.
Home record.
You raw dog some chick. That's not a big deal.
They all would have done the same, Brewski, right?
If you saw Terry Copley, then yeah, you absolutely would.
I love that you said he raw dogged her. You're bringing the two stories together. That's good.
Oh, bring it up, Brewski.
Hot dogs! Get your hot dogs here.
No, I don't know. Tony Danza may be an a-hole, maybe not.
Let's see. It says here that he's not. Can I get a fact check on that, per fact?
That's a fact.
He's not, dude. We decided.
I want to know if Tony Danza really saw Judith Light nude.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he did on Who's the Boss, but I think he probably did behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well, she's coming out of the shower there. Yeah.
Right.
She's still alive, by the way? I haven't heard of her forever.
Judith Light? That's a really good question. I don't know.
She's still alive, dude.
I mean, Mona's gone. We know that. Catherine Hellman is gone.
Between the two of them, who did you think was hotter when you were a little kid, Mona or Angela?
I thought Mona was probably the more fun one. She seemed like a drunken whore. But
Judith Light is still alive, by the way. She's 74.
Okay. All right.
I hated her character on Who's the Boss, dude. I thought she had such a stick up her ass, and I hated the way that she spoke to people. Yeah. I never knew why Tony was so infatuated with her. Did he even look at Samantha? I mean, come on, dude. His daughter was where it was at. She's still hot.
Yes.
That's too bad for, Tony D. Well, I feel bad for him. Let's all pray for Tony. I mean, we want to get t-shirts that say justice for Brewski. We should be getting justice for Tony right now. Okay.
He didn't kick the dog. He just walked over it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Jeez, guy's entitled.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know. Start the news chant, please.
Come on. News.
Hey, who wants to talk about Mike Johnson? Anyone?
Mike Johnson, if you want.
Not your Johnson, Mike Johnson.
Oh, Mike Johnson. Yes. The guy that no one's ever heard of, who is now second in line to the presidency.
Yes.
You mean the gay man that's Speaker of the House?
Yes, the gay man with a black son. What the hell's the story about that? I love that SNL brought that to all of our attention. So.
That he never registered in school and who's subsequently been arrested 18 times.
Dude, the story's weird. Mike Johnson, not only weird for all of the aforementioned reasons, but did you hear that he installed a porn accountability app on his and his son's devices?
Yes.
I did hear a little rumbling about that, if you'd like to expand on it. I don't even know what a porn accountability app is, why you would want to put one on your own device. I understand maybe your children's, but what the hell is that all about?
Maybe you have a pornography addiction and you're trying to keep it under control, you know? Do you believe in that, pornography addiction?
Sure, yes. You can be addicted to anything. The basic definition is it sucking away your time that you should be doing, spending time with friends, family, working. You know, if you can't get something done in your daily life because you're doing whatever else, then yeah, you can be addicted to that thing.
House Speaker Mike Johnson, Republican from Louisiana, said last year that he had installed a porn monitoring software on his device and those belonging to his teenage son. Rolling Stone resurfaced the 2022 conversation this week in which the lawmaker discussed his use of a service called Covenant Eyes during a speech at a church about the war on technology. Johnson said both he and his son had signed up to service that scanned all of the activity on your phone, your, iPad, all your devices, laptops, everything. Then it sends a report to your accountability partner. You got to have the right accountability partner, right? Because I feel that if you were my accountability partner, you would always just be like, yeah, you're good, dude. It's okay that you looked at that.
Or you're not doing enough. Or what are these categories? Like, this is lame. Come on.
My accountability partner right now is Jack, my son, which is weird. So I pointed this out to Steve. Jack Johnson is his name. So he gave him, Jack Me Off and Johnson as a name. The kid was determined and bound to love pornography.
I think that is so unfair to Jack Johnson, the musician. I've never thought of his name being a euphemism for masturbation, but now
Nor have I, dude. That's funny.
Playing a little 5-on-1. There you go.
There you go. If anything objectionable comes up, your accountability partner gets an immediate notice. It doesn't wait till 9 a.m. in the morning, dude. This thing is like, bam!
Somebody's in the bathroom right now.
The tattling begins immediately.
Yes, that's right. Johnson had this conversation last year at the Cypress Baptist Church in Benton, Louisiana. He said, I'm proud to tell you, my son has got a clean slate. The lawmaker said in the talk, it's really sensitive. It'll pick up almost anything. It looks for keyword searches, terms, and also images, and it will send your accountability partner a blurred picture of the image.
I hope he's not Googling Tony Danza. He's going to get anal porn results for being an a-hole.
It's funny because he doesn't realize that his kid probably has a burner phone on the side.
I was going to say, when you tell your kid you're monitoring him, you think he's going to use that device to go look at porn?
Well, and Johnson is doing the same thing. You got a secret device, old man.
Well, hell, he doesn't even have a bank account. That's an interesting story too.
What are you talking about?
Bank account?
You guys haven't seen this story? No. This has been a huge story this past week. He has no bank account. There's no banking records for him whatsoever at all.
How can you do that in this day and age?
I don't know, but other way, his bills are getting paid other ways, but not by any account with his name or his social security number associated with it.
Oh, wow. Well, nothing sketchy about that.
No, not at all.
No.
And then this is as sketchy as that is, okay, how about the fact that when he was in college, he said that he spent all 4 years of his college doing intensive research on homosexual relationships.
It's an odd way to put it, right? I mean, that's an odd way to put it. And that's exactly what he said.
Yeah. Does that mean that he's at a truck stop in Louisiana sitting by a glory hole and taking on all comers? I mean, is that what he's doing? I mean, what is it?
It's left to interpretation, dude.
Either interpretation is bad, whether it's the easy, glory hole kind of, joke, but the other, like, what do you, like, he was actually studying homosexuality, like courses and books, and like, that's, even if it's not a sexual joke, like, that's still weird.
It's weird, dude. It's very, very odd.
And why? Was he hoping to cure it or something? Like, why would you be studying it?
Listen, this is obviously an allegation, but one I feel like I have enough evidence to support. When you're gay, in his position, he is crushed in his soul by it and will do whatever he can to pray the gay away. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that that's exactly why he was studying homosexual activity, like extensively, like you are trying to get rid of it. And I'm sure you enjoyed it in the meantime.
Now, was he praying for that, though, while he was receiving a rusty trombone?
I don't know. I wasn't there. But I have no idea.
I mean, you do know what a rusty trombone is, do you not?
Tell us.
Rusty trombone is when somebody is behind you with their tongue in your anus whilst they have their hand out front moving it like a trombone. So they're jerking you off while they're doing that.
Okay. I don't know, dude. I don't know if he was doing that.
Listen, I've heard a lot of doctors say that if you ever have an ailment, that you should become an expert on the topic. You should look in, you should know everything there is to know about it. So, and it sounds like that's what Mike Johnson was doing. Like, he was a closeted gay man, so he was trying to research the hell out of it to become an expert on the topic, to try to talk himself out of it, cure himself, pray away the gay, whatever it is. There's really no normal reason to be an expert on the topic of gay sex.
That's true. I'll let everyone who wants to know that Covenant's Eye bills itself as a screen accountability app that can help subscribers quit porn for good. For $17 a month, users choose an ally who receives the screenshots of concerning activity. Sign up now.
Wow. So porn's free, but the app's $17 a month.
Yeah, and how is he getting that without a bank account, Brewski?
Really? I apparently someone else is paying for it. maybe Mrs. Johnson is paying for it, and she's keeping an eye on everybody's.
That's a solid point, right? Yeah. Well, good luck to him. We've got time for one more short one.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
Well, gentlemen, I am going to leave you with a story that you're going to tell me is really cheesy.
Well,
and
I sense a dad joke coming, but okay. Go ahead.
Actually, no. It's actually Italian man crushed to death by falling cheese wheels.
Wow.
Yes. Dairy factory owner 74 dies when shelves carrying 25,000 wheels of cheese collapse and bury him.
25,000 wheels of cheese?
Yes, 25,000.
Yeah, mob's getting very creative in the way they take people out nowadays, just to really cover their tracks. So
now let's remember that these all weigh 40 kilograms each, which is equivalent to about 88 pounds.
That guy is flat. There's nothing left of him.
Not at all. Not at all. This did happen in Italy. So
okay.
Steve, you're absolutely right. It could very well be. I mean,
right.
I
would assume this man is lactose intolerant at this point.
You would think.
Jeez. Thank you.
Listen, I have thought in my life that I would like to, sometimes you think about how you'd like to die if you could pick it.
Yes.
There are times I think about, cheese, I love cheese, like just cheese drowning in it. Yeah, but not like that, dude. That is crazy.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, just crushed to death by that. Now, you tell me which is worse, okay?
Okay.
Would that be worse, or the way that a worker at the Starkist tuna factory died?
How?
When they get the tuna, they don't put it in the can raw. They actually have to cook it. So what they do is they put all the tuna in this big vat and they steam it. And unfortunately, the man actually got locked into the steamer and he got steamed to death.
Whoa. Sounds like something fishy was going on there.
Yeah, to say the least.
All right, but seriously, he got locked in a giant steamer and got steamed.
Yes.
Slowly steamed to death. Yes.
What are the safety protocols at that plant? Because that doesn't seem like you should be able to do that. But
no, and that was in California too, by the way. So,
oh boy! All right, see the hellhole that California is.
Oh boy!
So 25,000 wheels of cheese, and it took them 2 days to actually remove all the wheels of cheese to get to his body.
Wow! Hope they still sold the cheese. Nothing wrong with that. Finely aged. Now it's Italian cheese.
They should have melted it, dude, and just made, Phil nachos, or, they could have just melted it. We could have thrown some noodles in that bad boy. Had
Parmesan Reggiano. It's the king of cheeses.
Right. Call Guinness Book, dude, and tell them we're going to make the world's largest batch of macaroni and cheese.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
A crushed Gouda and a crushed Goomba? Is that a Italian slur? I don't know.
I would think so, dude.
Goomba, yeah.
So, wow. Well, I mean, if you're going to go, though, honestly, being crushed by wheels of cheese could be worse. Steamed alive. That sounds kind of terrible. But
yeah, it does.
Would you rather be crushed by cheese or a big girl?
Oh.
It's a weird connection.
They both might smell the same, so, I mean...
Oh, yeah. I said the cheese, not the tuna factory, dude.
Cottage cheesy tuna fish action going on. Yeah, I'd rather be crushed by a large woman, sure, but
okay, well, I
think Bruce just threw up in his mouth a little.
Oh my god! Come on, stop!
All right, boys. Well, I think that's going to do it for the day.
We'll leave on a high note. So there you go.
All right, the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve, a la Brewski. See our webpage, thevocalminority.net. Say goodbye, Brewski.
Goodbye, Brewski.
And we say bye-bye.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Stop.
Great, good conversation there.
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
This is the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.